class of 2021. Please be seated.
Good evening, and welcome to Tigard High School's commencement ceremony for the class of 2023. My name is Brian Bailey, principal of Tigard High School, and it is my privilege to be here with you all as we celebrate this amazing group of young people. Before we begin, there are some important people that we would like to recognize. First, I would like to say thank you to our amazing school board, each of whom volunteers countless hours of their time in service to the kids, staff, and families of this district. Please join me in welcoming Board Chair Tristan Irvin, Vice Chair David Jaimez, Director Ben Bowman, Director Jill Zerschmied, Director Crystal Weston. I would also like to welcome and thank our Superintendent of the Tigard-Tualatin School District, Dr. Sue Rieke Smith. Dr. Sue, we are extremely grateful for your leadership, support, and dedication to each and every student, staff member, and family in TTSD. Additionally, I have the distinct pleasure tonight of welcoming in the audience the U.S. Representative for Oregon's 6th Congressional District, United States Representative Andrea Salinas. To our associate principals, Melissa Barron, Giselle Escobar, Scott Haddon, and Ryan Taylor, thank you for your endless passion, care, and hard work on behalf of the students and staff at Tigard High School. To our amazing teachers and support staff, you are the magic that makes this such a special place to learn, work, and grow. Your care for our students, support of one another, and unimaginable resilience has created a welcoming and nurturing environment for every single person that walks through our doors. Would all Tigard High staff, including those in the audience, please stand and be recognized? As high school teachers and staff, we're lucky to get to work with our students during the final 4 years of their K-12 education. But we couldn't do the work that we do without hundreds of other caring and compassionate people that guide and support our students through elementary school, middle school, and all the way along their journey. If you are a TTSD employee anywhere in the audience this evening, will you please stand so that we can recognize you as well? And finally, it takes much more than a world-class staff of educators to make high school graduation a reality. All of us are here this evening because of the love and support we receive from our family, friends, and loved ones. We're here because of the people in our lives that push us and encourage us, pick us up when we fall down, love us unconditionally simply for being who we are. Class of 2023, please rise and face the stadium and join me in thanking the many people in the audience that have helped us along the way. Have a seat. Now it's your turn. Graduating class of 2023. 4 years ago, you and I walked into Tigard High School for the first time together. You were excited and energetic ninth graders, and I was kind of like a freshman principal in my first year. Over the 4 years together at Tigard High School, we've experienced a lot. We survived a massive construction project, learned how to get around a building with classroom numbers that make absolutely no sense, learned how to do online school, hybrid school, got used to wearing and hating masks, and we adjusted how we do school no fewer than 4.2 million times. And finally, in our senior year, we got the chance to come back to some semblance of normal. While I didn't know at the beginning of the year that this would be my senior year, you sure did. You entered into this year with so much positive energy, excited to be back for real, and passionate about making Tigard High School the best that it could be. As the only current class of students that had ever actually gone to Tigard High School under normal circumstances, you were ready to bring back all of the traditions and experiences that students deserve. And you did it. Coming back to a, quote, regular school year was hard for a lot of people. But your leadership and willingness to be role models for our younger students helped them learn how to be a Tiger more than you'll ever know. And now, look at you. Class of 2023. We're moving on to the next chapters in our lives. When I look at this group in front of me, I no longer see the excited and somewhat nervous ninth graders from 4 years ago. I see IB diploma candidates who have completed some of the most rigorous high school coursework literally on the planet. I see valedictorians and scholarship winners. I see artists and actors, musicians and athletes. I see state qualifiers, award winners, league champions and state champions. I see national placers in Ethics Bowl, dance, and theater. And as of just this morning, I see the 2023 Rose Festival Queen. Congratulations to Deja Fitzwater on this amazing accomplishment. As I look out at this group of young adults, what I really see are leaders and change makers. And as the leaders of the next generation, I want to leave you tonight with 6 words to take with you as you embark on the next leg of your journey. Compassion. Love the people in the world around you. You don't have to agree with everybody, but you can respect them and care for them as humans. Accountable. In this case, I mean to be accountable to your word. Do what you say you're going to do and hold yourself accountable to that. Magic. Find the magic in the world because it's everywhere around you if you look for it. Magic is the smile on a stranger's face if you pass them in the aisle in a store. It's the text or snap from a friend when you're having a crummy day. Magic is that feeling you get when you accomplish a goal that you set for yourself. It's everywhere. It's there. Sometimes you just got to look for it. Reliable. Be there for the people in your lives that need you. Be the magic when they need it, and be consistent and positive force for the world around you. You matter. You're valued and you're valuable. So always and forever, love the you that you are and be the best version of yourself. And finally, the word never. Never, never, ever give up. Life is hard. You're going to have challenges all the time. But no matter what you're dealing with, tomorrow is a new day, and it'll be a new opportunity to solve whatever puzzles are going on in your life. When I look at the class of 2023, I see people with a passion for making the world a better place. I see people who will never give up, who will always show up, and who will make the best out of any situation they're faced with. I see people that will not only find the magic in the world, but will make magic happen for those around them. So tonight, as one chapter of your life comes to a close, please know that each and every one of you is ready for whatever comes next. You've not only conquered high school, you've done so through the single most difficult 4-year period in the history of high school. You took every twist and turn in stride. You adjusted when you needed to adjust. You worked harder when you needed to work harder and overcame obstacles nobody else before you has had to overcome. You've embodied the idea of grit and perseverance, and you are ready. You're not just ready to move on, you're ready to take on the world. As a principal and as a dad, I couldn't be more proud than I am right now, and I consider myself luckier than anybody on the planet to have been on this ride with you. I want to personally thank you, class of 2023. It is now my pleasure to introduce our senior class president, London Gamble.
Hi. Thank you, Mr. Bailey. And thank you to everyone who has supported the class of 2023 throughout this incredible journey, because it has certainly been a journey. A journey of over 12 years spent together. To my fellow graduates, we grew up. All we've ever wanted was to grow up. Since 2009, we have grown up sharing endless laughter and inside jokes within the walls of our classrooms. We yearn to be older, taller, wiser, and stronger. Tall enough to ride the roller coaster, and free enough to drive on our own with the windows down on warm summer nights. We've wanted to grow. And we have grown, particularly since our journey has taken us to the labyrinth known as Tigard High School. As young, timid freshmen, we found ourselves lost in its halls like they were the changing staircases of Hogwarts, literally, since the building was under constant construction. We whipped, we nay-nayed, we slay queened, and girl bossed. And we learned. We learned how to adapt to new environments. We learned ethos, pathos, logos, SOHCAHTOA, that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and so much more. Our journey tested us. It tested us with a global pandemic, and we made it through. We survived the infamous Tigard bad parking account, or at least most of us did. We survived the crackdown on the Tigard sleeping account and the banishment of the multitude of barstool accounts, probably made by freshmen, if we're being completely honest. We also survived parking at the very end of 92nd because suddenly half the sophomore class got their license. We survived projects we thought would destroy us and exams that felt life or death. But in the immortal words of Mr. Weber's wall, if you get a bad grade, that doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you need to spend more time studying. If you failed that test, it didn't ruin your life. You still made it to graduation. So with that, as long as you're smiling, as long as you're working hard and doing your best, that's what matters. I want every one of you to reflect and take a moment to appreciate the people in your lives that have helped you get to where you are today, and thank them for their kindness, devotion, and support. And I want you to thank yourself. In 12 years, you've overcome hardships, cringe, and drama. Be proud of everything you've accomplished, whether that's something as simple as getting out of bed in the morning, or finally completing the multitude of projects you spend endless amounts of time on. In the fall, we will all arrive at different destinations. But when I look out at everyone here, friends, faculty, mentors, and family, there's absolutely nobody else I'd rather have journeyed with. So to the class of 2023, thank you for all the unfathomable and unforgettable memories you've engraved into my brain. And with that, I would like to uphold an outstanding tradition and take a class selfie with you all. So everyone say cheese, please. And another round of applause for the class of 2023. Thank you.
Well done, London. In another long-standing tradition at Tigard High School, the senior class has an opportunity to select a staff member to speak at graduation. This year, the class of 2023 has selected both Miss Jody Mello and Miss Mackenzie Colson for this honor.
Hello? Okay. Hi, good evening, families, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and anyone else who has been here for these wonderful graduates and helping raise them. I'm Mackenzie Colson.
I'm Jody Mello.
And we are overjoyed to be chosen as the grad speakers for this year. I can assure you these words are our own. No chat GPT found here. We will avoid as many cliches as possible. We will reference the words journey, future, and adulthood only once or twice. The literary references will be minimal, but we may quote a few giants along the way. We will do our very best to keep you engaged and entertained. We are going over time. Sorry, Katie McKee. Nothing we can do about that. You gave us the mic. I'm no Grace Schroeder who can burst into song and dance at any given moment. And then next, she's citing a philosopher and making sure everyone in the class feels included.
As English teachers, we ask you to do something pretty personal. to come into our classrooms and write with us, to share your ideas, your deep thinking, to communicate even when it's hard, to answer questions about what it's like to be you, to tell us your stories. And while you may have thought we weren't always listening, we heard you. You've told us about things that make you mad: the parking lot, potholes and bad drivers, COVID crushing part of your high school experience, Kia Souls. Looking at you, Douglas Bailey. Sorry, Karen. You've told us about what you hope for: to make your family proud, to find adventure, to, and I quote, become the most jacked old man of all time. Boone Kaufman, you can do it. You told us stories about your relationship to pasta, the comfort of doing things 3 times, fear of monsters under your bed, the signs you've made, the cars you've cleaned, the camps you've canceled, the teams you've teamed with, and the injuries you've sustained. You've told us stories about the buildings you will someday design, your mother's recipes, a million anxieties, the pets you've lost, the new names and identities you've found. You've captured hundreds of stories, both in our English classrooms and in places like publications, where students like Maylene Arroyo and Laura Taylor and many others worked tirelessly to record the details and moments of your past 4 years, like theater, where our talented students brought stories like SpongeBob to life on the stage.
You've told us stories about leaving abusive homes, loss, heartbreak, recovery, friendships lost and gained, and what the future holds with so much pressure on your generation. We want to take time to give a special shout out to the ones who barely made it here today. Whether you had health issues, trauma, anxiety that kept you from being in class, family disruption or responsibility, hunger, self-doubt, whatever your obstacles, we're glad you're here. Not everyone follows the same path to graduation. This is true for a student, David Calderon, who struggled to engage as a freshman but forged his own path to graduation and even finished early. Congratulations, David. And we want to thank those of you who had the courage to share your stories with others, like Corinne Yancey, who bravely spoke at our Voices Assembly this year, illuminating her struggles and showing us the power of vulnerability.
You've told us that you feel the heaviness of the last few years, that we have asked you to carry a lot, and that many of you feel the heavy responsibility to fix the things we've muddled up. Help us reverse climate change, lead us in our fight against gun violence, get out there in the streets and fight for racial and gender equity. Wear masks, don't wear masks. Get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. Read banned books, don't read banned books.
You've shared with us that it can be overwhelming to engage with the constant barrage of issues happening around you and in the world, and it's totally okay to want to find refuge and solace away. We urge you not to stay hidden, though. We need you. I need you. Your friends need you. We need your ideas, your opinions, your solutions, your whole self, so that all of us can feel a little less alone. We need people like Henry Castillo and Ava Pauley, who championed Unity Week, so all Tigard students could learn more about each other.
And we need people like Izzy Pope and Theo Jones, who worked their butts off to lead their Calling a Cure team in raising $30,000 for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We need people like Abigail McNatt, who has taught us how to rock our socks in celebration of World Down Syndrome Day. To the curious and engaged, we see you and appreciate you. Sarah Griffin, Ryder Thompson, Eldon Cosmo, Villarreal, Emmeline Gale, the countless others whose willingness to stick with the questions without always desiring one answer is not only important, but essential in keeping us learning and growing.
You're brave enough to do TikTok videos in the hallway, or tell us how you're going to become the next famous YouTube rapper. Looking at you, Diego Olvero. I wish you good luck. You've told us that you value truth and honesty. Well, here's some honesty for you. It takes courage to face reality without excuses or escapes. None of you have ever made excuses, right? Tried to escape class by saying you got lost in the hallway, or that Pete stopped you for an elongated conversation, which we know is not true. The truth is that the truth is always worth it. It's its own reward. We wish for you to seek your truth and find it in others. Speak up, like Diesel Omen, whose constant ideas and connections in my class somehow drew everyone in, no matter how random they were. He also made breakfast every single day during distance learning in Jacqueline Youngerman's Spanish 1 class. It even got to the point where he would ask the class what he should make, and then they would provide opinions. He would then leave class and come back 15 minutes later to show them. Dedication at its finest.
We know how important your friends are to you, and we've seen just how much community matters in the last few years. Communities like Avid. Shout out to my Avid community, my Avid family. I'm deeply proud of each and every one of you. Communities like Squad and Intercambio, our clubs like Period Club and Climate Club, our affinity groups like Manassa, my classroom lunch crew. The relationships we build in these communities bind us together and sustain us when things are hard. I've seen you be the most loyal friends, like Sadie Martin, Chloe Eagles, Lily Brenner, and Sabina Otis, who formed the best ever after-class support group. People like Kaya Johnson, whose empathy is her superpower. I've seen you transform a classroom into the most comfortable of spaces, like Rebecca Jenkins, who carefully painted the nails of her classmates and mine during self-care time. It's true. Or Mia Dodson, who creatively transformed cute coloring pages into magnificent and creepy works of art. Please don't go it alone. Live and love fully and give deeply of yourself, despite all the unknowns and unpredictability.
This time of year always feels bittersweet. We've been on a journey with you now. We've been on a journey, and now it's time to let you go. Sure, some of you will keep in touch on the Instagram, and we might see you from time to time, but you are moving on to other teachers and more independence, a new journey. Some of you are going extremely far away, like Chase Dennis, who will travel to South Africa to wrestle. And some of you will just go right down the road. I hold a special place in my heart for the senior graduates who have helped raise my daughter, Basil, and the countless other staff members who have taken care of our children in Tiny Tigers every single day. Thank you.
What we most hope you'll carry with you as you go is a sense of self-worth and voice, the knowledge that we saw you as more than just a face in the room, that you were important here, that one small thing you did one day delighted us, that your acts of kindness, a plant or note or card or greeting, they changed the direction of our day for the better.
Graduating from high school brings up a lot of feelings and emotions. For some, you cannot wait for your next steps, while others of you are maybe scared or anxious, and most of you are probably somewhere in between. all of your feelings are valid and understandable, as this is truly the beginning of your next steps into adulthood. Amin Rains recently shared in Michael Rogers' class that he will miss the routine of getting up and having this particular place to come to, because Tigard is a lot better than going to work every day. This comfortable environment, all these people in the community, he acknowledged he may never have that again. The good news is you're not alone. You are allowed to be more than one thing. Brave in one circumstance and scared in another, confident and humble, ambitious yet cautious. You see, it's our complexities and our contradictions that make us interesting. The dualities of our being, the shades of gray, and the multitude of in-betweens that we always feel. Sometimes it can feel like we are imposters, that we're not ready or we don't belong. American poet E.E. Cummings said, "Once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, spontaneous delight, or any experience that reveals the human spirit." The beautiful thing about all of this is that no one is ever done learning, growing, changing, and evolving.
Class of 2023, we want you to know that your stories matter to us. Author Leslie Marmon Silko writes, "Old stories and new stories are essential. They tell us who we are, and they enable us to survive. We hope you will keep sharing and creating stories that help us to survive and thrive. Thank you for sharing yourselves with us. We are so proud of you. Congratulations."
Thank you, Mrs. Mello and Mrs. Colson. It is with great pleasure that we now recognize our class of 2023 valedictorians. Valedictorians, please stand and face your classmates in the audience to be honored. These 30 students maintained straight A's for their entire high school career while also completing advanced level coursework in our honors program. At this time, I would like to ask 3 of our valedictorians to the stage to share their remarks. The rest of you may be seated. Our first speaker this evening will be Mercedes Harms.
I want to start off with an experience I think we probably all have one horrific story about: driving, specifically teen driving. For me, I passed my permit test and I passed my driving test. However, there was a lot of learning within prepping for those tests. My practicing started off in parking lots. And disclaimer, for what I'm about to describe, don't worry, I wasn't tearing up the roads of Tigard. I was at the Mountainside parking lot. Anyways, for me, I had a lot of trouble remembering which pedal was the gas and which pedal was the brake. My parents would be gripping the handles in the car, wondering what was going to happen next. And I was thinking the exact same thing, because I had absolutely no clue which pedal was which. Well, eventually, I figured it out. I graduated from the parking lot, and I started my reign on the mean streets of Tigard. I specifically remember one Sunday morning, I was driving, and my dad was in the passenger seat. The streets were absolutely empty except for one other car. I was coming up to a stop sign, and I saw this car on my left, on the road I would be needing to turn onto. And instead of stopping at the stop sign, I whipped through it not stopping at all. In fact, I accelerated. And the car made that noise when you burn rubber, and the tires shook. Let me tell you, my dad was not happy with that, and I rightly got yelled at. First, he of course questioned my sanity and asked me why I had done that. I was trying not to laugh because I was equally shocked by my actions. And I won't forget what he said next. Slow down. We could have waited all day at that stop sign. We aren't in a rush. Our lives aren't worth beating that car. I believe this advice can apply to many things in life, specifically our futures. It is a universal truth that we are going to make mistakes. Everyone has, everyone does. Most everyone will be in a situation like my epic car fail, where you get so focused on one thing, you miss out on other important moments, like a giant red stop sign. However, it is important to remember that despite these experiences, we have time, we can make mistakes, and we can learn from them. As we navigate our way into adulthood, we will all be faced with adversity. The choice is ours in how we respond. Similar to the posters we have all seen while growing up in classrooms, be kind, be safe, be respectful. Our futures will be full of mistakes, but they will also be full of growth, and we will become stronger and more capable people. Today is just one example of all the things we can accomplish and all the possibilities we have ahead of us. To quote Elle Woods from the movie Legally Blonde, "Congratulations, class of 2023, we did it." And now, please welcome our next speaker, Theo Jones.
Good evening, and welcome families, friends, staff, and most importantly, you guys, the graduates. My name is Theodore Jones, and I'm incredibly grateful to be a valedictorian and one of the speakers tonight. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2023 and encourage all of you to thank every teacher, peer, and adult in your life that has assisted you in reaching this milestone. Whether you've maintained that relationship or not, reaching this milestone is monumental for those who helped along the way. For me, I'd like to thank my mom and dad, my grandparents, and my brother Ollie. I'd like to thank every member of the Tigard football family for inspiring me to become a better leader and a more dedicated student. Thank you to Ms. Hodgson and Ms. Mello. $3.7 million in scholarships from 47 students is an incredible accomplishment and a testament to the AVID program that you guys have created at Tigard High School. To Mr. Rogers, your guidance has transformed my life. You've pushed me to become the man I am today, and without that, I know I would not be speaking on this stage, that I would not have pushed myself beyond my comfort zone, and that I wouldn't be a state ethics bowl champion. To Izzy, Isaac, Ellery, and Quinlan, I love you guys. You're my best friends and the brightest students I've had the chance to work, grow, and learn alongside. For all of us, March 13th, 2020 changed our lives. What we thought would be a 2-week extension to spring break turned into a 77-week absence from in-person education. But despite this, we're all here. We made it to graduation together. Over the past 4 years at Tigard High School, some of us have transformed from ignorant freshmen to leaders inspiring change throughout our community, and I have no doubt that the class of 2023 will change the world. While writing this speech, I turned to Mr. Holtz for advice, and he simply stated, "Nobody cares that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell." Sorry, London, I didn't know you were going to say that. What he meant by this is that the trivial content of your high school classes isn't what will shape your future. Periodic table trends and the ability to pinpoint authorial choices in literature will stand irrelevant in the legacy you leave. Your legacy isn't defined by how popular you were in high school or how many chords you earned for graduation, but I believe your legacy is defined by the way that you treated others. When I entered high school, I was arrogant. I thought I knew who I wanted to surround myself with, how I wanted to work my way through high school, and what I wanted to do with my life. But everything's changed since the moment I walked into this school. Throughout the last 4 years, I've learned to develop a newfound sense of empathy, compassion, and work ethic that has opened my world to new friendship and opportunity. My entire life, I'd find myself as a STEM kid, math-focused and uncreative. This year, though, I enrolled in Art 1, a class full of freshmen that forced me out of my comfort zone. However, this class not only gave me a creative outlet, but an opportunity to collaborate and learn from students at the school who I never would have met. I want to thank Ms. Soko for inspiring me to explore my creativity and encouraging me to be vulnerable. I hope that you all continue to pursue what you're passionate about. You don't get an opportunity to do life over again. To the graduating class, you'll never take another high school course. You'll leave here not as a student, but as a Tigard High School alumni. As we begin the next chapter of our lives, I hope you do not waste your time trying to conform to the standards of others to a career that you think will make a lot of money, and I hope you guys do not take the easier path. Keep searching for what you're passionate about and do everything you can to make it a reality. I'm incredibly thankful for the opportunity to speak to you guys tonight, to be here with all of you, and I do hope that you thank every teacher, peer, and parent who made this night possible. I'm incredibly proud of us Tigers. I love each and every one of you, and I know each one of you will go on to do great things. Thank you. And now, please welcome Ellery Harrington.
Good evening. My name is Ellery Harrington, and I'm grateful to be addressing everyone tonight. Looking out at the field, I see nearly 400 graduates alongside me in the class of 2023. I know some of you personally, and others I don't, but I do know one thing about each and every one of us. Every single person in a seat on this field is an incredibly resilient and dedicated individual. We've endured sleepless nights, countless assignments, a global pandemic, and unique personal challenges. In spite of those challenges, we are all here. And while I am humbled to be speaking to you all, I want to acknowledge that I am standing here as a product of both hard work and privilege. I spent countless hours studying, yes, and sometimes I sacrificed time with my family to prioritize academics, but the time and environment to do that was not available to everyone. So as we all prepare to walk across the stage, I wanted to remind everyone that there is no special stole for people who work jobs to support their families, no cord for those who persevered through personal losses, and no medal for the people who shatter glass ceilings by being here tonight. Tonight, we celebrate all of you. We celebrate the visual artists, the musicians, the social activists, student athletes, valedictorians, affinity group members, all of us alike, united as an unwavering body, the graduating class of 2023. There's not enough time in the world to thank the teachers who made my high school experience worth it, most notably the IB teachers who made the program bearable. Ms. Wall, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Savage, Ms. Townsend, Mr. Eunice, and more. Your ability to communicate complex ideas in ways that are fun and engaging is a gift. Every teacher at this school has made an impact on someone in this graduating class. To all of you, thank you. The teacher who has impacted me the most, and I know the same is true for a lot of students here, is Mr. Holtz. As the advisor to the club I preside and my teacher for 2 years, Holtz has been a mentor to me, supporting me endlessly, noticing and checking in when I'm struggling, and building up my confidence. His stories of his past adventures are imbued with wisdom and profound messages. He teaches students the concept of the mind, then opens it beyond the horizons we ever thought possible. Holtz, you have been an incredible teacher and mentor over the past 2 years, and no words of thanks will ever be enough. You often ask your students, what is human nature? I don't have a precise answer, and I maybe never will, but I do know that whatever it is, all the best pieces can be found in this graduating class. To every relative, friend, and person in the stands tonight, thank you for being here. To whoever you're supporting tonight, your presence means the world. Remember, graduates, to also thank your friends on the field, those who made your high school experience one of a kind. Tell them you're proud of them. Quinlan Kelleher, Theo Jones, and Izzy Pope from Tigard, North Carolina, thank you for being my best friends through this all. To my family, my grandparents, siblings, step-parents, and dad, thank you for being here. For my mom, I have to have my Rory Gilmore moment. She is my ultimate inspiration, my lifeblood, #1 supporter, and best friends. She never once indicated there was something I couldn't do if I put my mind to it. Physically, I've always looked a lot like my mother, and as I walk through life, I will consider it a success to embody even half of the brilliant, dazzling woman she is. To everyone in the stands, thank you. Class of 2023, the moment we've been waiting for since September 3rd, 2019, the first day of freshman year, is finally here. Be proud of yourself and your classmates' achievement tonight. The future can be nerve-wracking and uncertain, but I'm confident that it is brighter with all of us in it. Thank you for the past 4 years, Tigard. Congratulations, graduates, and in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Thank you, valedictorian speakers. School Board Chair Irvin and members of the board, having fulfilled the requirements of the Tigard-Tualatin School District and the state of Oregon for graduation, I officially present to you for receipt of their diplomas, Tigard High School's class of 2023.
Thank you, Principal Bailey, and good evening, graduates, families, friends, and teachers. It is an honor to be part of your graduation ceremony this evening. This feels extra special because I know so many of you out there, and I have so many friends up there. I am now up here realizing that I'm the only thing standing between you and these diplomas, so I will be brief. So first of all, I would like all of the graduates to turn around and find again their people in the stands for me. Just like you're at that second grade music performance. All right. So for those of you in the stands, raise your hand for me if this is your first time sitting in those stands tonight. Round of applause. That's a really, really big deal. All right. Raise your hand if this is your last time sitting in those stands tonight. That is an equally big milestone. All right, and so now for everybody, raise your hand if there were moments that you weren't entirely sure you would be sitting here tonight. All of you up there too, yep. All right. My next question is easier now after those incredible speeches, because my next question was, raise your hand if you've already cried at least once today. I'm up to 4. So thank you, speakers. That was incredible. And also, graduates, pro tip, if you've ever wanted something and there's like you haven't really done the ask and you've been eyeing something, this is the time, like tonight, to ask for that thing. We are all incredibly emotionally vulnerable. We've been crying all day, so this is definitely the time that we will likely, as your parents, say yes. Okay, so grads, raise your hand if at some point there were shenanigans that happened that your family probably doesn't know about. I'm looking for honesty here. All right. Families, people in the stands, raise your hands if you absolutely know the shenanigans that happened and they just don't know that you know. And that is the magic of parenting, folks. Yep. All right, and finally, graduates, please applaud, cheer, and yell if you would not be here without the love, support, and probably patience and grace of somebody here tonight. And everyone in the stands, please applaud louder, cheer louder, and yell louder if you are to the moon proud of the person you are looking at right now. That is amazing. So as I was thinking as I was thinking about the last few words, which means these are my last few words, I promise. But I was going to say tonight, I also realized that this is a lot like a wedding ceremony where none of you will remember like 90% of this probably tomorrow. But my final words that I settled on were Robert Kennedy's, who said, "All of us might wish at times that we lived in a more tranquil world, but we don't. And if our times are difficult and perplexing, so are they challenging and filled with opportunity." And yes, your time in high school set the precedent for difficult and was exceedingly perplexing. But what I have seen as a board member, as a parent, as a teacher, is you facing the challenges and seeing the opportunities. I saw you oftentimes do that better than we as grown-ups did. You got involved, supported and advocated for each other, and had a whole lot of fun and clearly some shenanigans along the way. And that gives me all the hope I need. And so, without further ado, Principal Bailey, by the authority vested in me on behalf of Tigard Tualatin School Board and the State of Oregon, it is my honor to accept the class of 2023. Congratulations.
All right, seniors. Now it's the moment you, your family, and your friends have all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. We will begin with the presentation of diplomas to our valedictorians. Will the front row please stand and proceed to the stage? We need board members over there too. Yep. Nozomi Lee Aiken. Meline Arroyo. Now we'll start alternating. Ella Lauren Baudio. Ethan Ryan Kate. Eli McCrae Chesler. Tallis Troy Culbertson. Jack Cooper Denari. Caden Anthony Duchesne. Gabriel James Emerson. Riley Jonah Foth. Sarah Helen Griffith. Lauren Elizabeth Haygood. Miriam Grace Haidu Paulin. Mercedes Carol Harms. Ellery Shea Harrington. Abigail Renee Hergert. Lillian Audrey Herman. Kaya Irene Johnson. Theodore David Jones. Brady James Jordan. Quinlan Paige Kelleher. Madeline Ray Meyer. Lainey Nicole Reckoff. Samantha Caitlin Rumford. Mitchell Scott Sandoz. Haley Madison Shimojima. Ashley Pauline Smith. Ryder David Thompson. Sydney Marcel Wolf. Kayla Nicole Cum.
London Cabernet Gamble.
Nicholas Schaefer.
Grace Patton. Elena Ray Hartnell.
Lakin Sage Reed.
Zoe Jane Tyler.
Rachel Ying Wu.
Zachariah Ali Abdusamad.
Kirk Willard Abraham.
Lana Salam Abukishk.
Angela Marie Aguilar.
Ashlyn Soldad Aguilar Contreras.
Victor Hugo Aguirre Madrigal.
Estrella Marina Alcazar Castillo.
Arlie Alicia Montano.
Jackson Tobin Ali.
Sayla Joy Alvarado.
Joseph Alvarez.
Ariel Jasmine Angel Alvarez.
Diana Angeles Ramos.
Abel Donovan Armenta.
Emerson Berthold Arndt.
Brooke Yvonne Arnold.
Nathan Oluwatamalehin Arong.
Melissa Ariola Boteo.
Catalina Adiaga Nunez.
Victoria L. Arroyo.
Torian Willem Asmus.
Tiana Marie Atkinson.
Gabriel Avila Plago.
Lorenzo Munoz Manchard.
Gabriel Hills.
Eric Jesus Eviles.
Logan Michael Ayers.
Mason Ray Backlund.
Cameron Elizabeth Bailey.
Douglas Ryan Bailey.
Nicholas Baker.
Kyle James Baker.
Brooklyn Marie Baxter.
Jaden Ray Beatles.
Ruby Jean Becker.
Matthew Taylor Beckett.
Jennifer Bejong.
Scarlett Helena Rafaela Beltran.
Skylar Ann Benagni.
Cesar Benitez.
Maximiliano Benitez Cardenas.
Caleb Sterling Benjamin.
Nathan Ronald Bennett Bonillo.
Sarah Elizabeth Berg.
Christopher Dwayne Bernard.
Katie Rose Bishop.
Lily Ya Blackwell.
Matthew Walker Blair.
Aaron Don Bogart.
Karis Sky Bomar.
Josie Eleanor Baumgardner.
Alicia Linda Marie Box.
Chase Alexander Neil Bradshaw.
Mark William Brands.
Alina Bratkov.
Lily Kate Renner. Elizabeth Inga Brown.
Calum Acacio Brown.
Malik Lamar Brown.
Stella Page Brown.
Claire Elizabeth Bull.
Samuel Franklin Bullard.
Brody Patrick Burchardi.
Grace May Burry.
Macy Solana Caballero.
David Joshua Calderon Soto.
Trace Kaivalani Kamali'i Cancelosi.
JD Ishizuka Cannon.
Emma Sayuri Cantlin.
Kennedy Jade Carmen.
Ty Anderson Carr.
Tess Lenore Karstens.
Claire Nancy Carter.
Henry Elke Castillo.
Megan Jean Kavanaugh.
Bobby Mackenzie Chambers.
Sylvia Elise Chandler.
Eric Chavelas Navarrete.
Brandy Fabian Chavalas Serrano.
Grace J. Chofet. Jose Cinto Orozco.
Marvin Aubrey Dion Cobb.
Boone Roscoe Kaufman.
Ava Kathleen Kaufman Luckcuck.
Elizabeth Marie Cordier.
Aaliyah Rosaline Crawford.
Bennett Logan Crawford.
Rowan Raymond Crowley.
Vaughn Croxton.
Kiana Sarai Cruz Hernandez.
Wayne Edward Dalton.
Maddox Daly Davies.
Kayla Bell Davis.
Luke Emery Davis.
Rosie Bell D. Leon.
Elsa Lynn Dean.
Chase Douglas Dennis.
Christian Curtis Deal.
Mia Brooke Dodson.
Angel Gabriel Dominguez.
Simon Ramon Dominguez Villarreal.
Aiden Gian Donnelly.
Kate Francois Dover.
Eric Doyle.
Nate Duenas.
Henry Jacob Doolin.
Wyatt Dan Duche.
Eva Marie Dwyer.
Chloe Ann Eagles.
Kyan Noah Edwards.
Morgan Marie Erickson.
Alyssa Kimberly Irvin.
Adon Thomas Esquivel.
Kimberly Fajardo.
Peter Ransom Farrand.
Giovanni Favela Alcaraz.
Connor Edward Federowitz.
Deja Andre Michelle Fitzwater.
Liam Robert Flanagan.
Mariana Flores.
Ezequiel Flores Galejana.
Emma Joy Fordyce.
Victoria Jean Forst.
Gardner Alexander Frame.
Connor Dale Fry.
Emma Jane Fry.
Maximilian Alexander Futrell.
Emmeline Francis Gale.
Belinda Esperanza Galindo.
Aristeo Benicio Gallagher.
Richley Grant Galvin.
Chloe Amy Ganry.
Francisca Paula Garcia Cruz.
Kendra Garcia Pacheco.
Dennis Rugerio Goarin.
Isabel Rose Gambola.
Ethan Ross Gilbert.
Jordan Mickey Gilbert.
Emma Rachel Ginther Raboja.
Austin Jason Getz.
Alexa Gonzalez Juarez.
Katie Alyss Goodell.
Tristan Walker Graham.
Connor Ewan Grant.
Caden Kenneth Grassman.
Diana Erlene Guerrera Villatoro.
Dana Victoria Guerrera Villatoro.
Heather Rose Hassi.
Kemper Hampton.
RJ Edward Happold.
Reese Cooper Brockman Hare.
Brendan J. Harrell. Naima Hassan.
Aurora A.G. Hayden.
Emma Isabella Heim.
Emma Lynn Henninger.
Micah Christopher Herring.
Angel Gabriel Hernandez Hernandez.
Giselle Hernandez Ojeda.
Yuselin Hernandez.
Jimena Herrera Barajas.
Joshua Willis Hirschenow.
Isaac Richard Herzog.
Sarah Leah Hayden.
Christian Yahir Hidalgo Mendoza.
Levi Daniel Hill.
Alexander Jason Hinson.
Faith Catherine Holt.
Courtney Nicole Hood.
Emily Elizabeth Hooks.
Bryson Michael Hoover.
Samantha Alexis Houston.
Logan Alexander Hoy.
Revan Kai Houston.
Manuel Ibarra Calderon.
Maximiliano Islas Aguilar.
Dia Jaff.
Ella Mary James.
Joseph Benjamin James.
Connor Koshi Tanaka Jeffrey.
Rebecca Aaron Junkins.
Isabella Christine Marie Jett.
Aiden Max Johnson.
Logan Nicholas Johnson.
Lyric Tyler Johnston.
Jacob David Jones. Shylin Lavera Jones Sharp.
Wasay Keiko Jude.
Elizabeth Grace Tiana Kaler.
Austin James Carl.
Ania Eileen Castrava.
Timote Delucy Katoa.
Emma Lynn Kearney.
Allison Elizabeth Keck.
Susie Joy Kelchner Lee.
Robert Richard Kent.
Toby Owen Kerr.
Wyatt Joseph Kristolovic.
Grant Dale Knudsen.
Jade Ling Kuo.
Faith Susan Kaiser.
Jaden Bushin Lierdon.
Gavin Lewis Laird.
Brian Adrian Larios Martinez.
Brigham Franzen Larson.
Alicia Lawn.
Isaac Ari Lafon.
Gabriel William Lafelt.
Devin John Lenahan.
Rodalua Aaron Lepa.
Shannon Liang.
Keith Adams Santos Lorenas.
Aiden A. Lopez.
Jacqueline Lopez Orozco.
Estrella Lebeth Lorenzo Molina.
Austin Edward Lujan.
Andrew Clark McAfee.
Owen Robert McAfee.
Owen Walter Magnuson.
Grace Christine Maher.
Harmony Rose Mai.
Sadie Annette Martin.
Samantha Anelia Martin.
Ahmad Jamal Masalma.
Henry Robert Masters.
Cade William McAllister.
Christopher Michael McHugh.
Abigail Victoria McNatt.
Saren Grace McKnight.
Michael Joseph Medeiros.
Celia Alexandra Medina Medina.
Finley Zaylen Mayberg.
Adit Melcher Melcher.
Ethan James Michelson.
Pierce Gregory Mikolai.
Madison Joe Miller.
Tara Nicole Mitchell.
Abdirashid Ali Mohamud.
Madison Nicole Moore.
Jacob Joseph Marino.
Manha Abdurrahman Mukhtar.
Cindy Satali Mionos Villanueva.
Naima Munye.
Abigail Ann Murphy.
Oishiki Nog.
Brianna Nicole Nelson.
Clarice Manjun Newberry.
Tucker Matthew Wynn.
Jacob Thomas Nielsen.
Roman Michael Aquito.
Diego Jesus Overa Guzman.
Diesel Bryant Omen.
Richard Ontiveros.
Lucy Dawn Ornelas.
Jennifer Gabriela Orozco.
Salma Ibeth Ortiz.
Christopher Ortiz de la O.
Sasha T. Ostro.
Sabina Elaine Otis.
Deanna Radia Basurto.
Brandon David Pacewick.
Ulysses Radia Resentes.
Camelia Brooke Palmer.
Corey Jacob Parker. Ava Taylor Pauley.
Gabriel Pearson.
Sam Lee Pearson.
Alson Jarek Pell.
Samuel Henry Penn.
Angel Perez Lopez.
Atreyu Kai Peterson.
Novali Jean Peterson.
Anthony Coy Pham.
Fernando Ismael Pietras Iturbide.
Jennifer Anahi Polanco.
Isabel Ruth Pope.
Austin Tyler Possert.
Jack Riley Pratt.
Jacob Edward Quinn Holowati.
Amon Lee Rains.
Jocelyn Vanessa Ramirez Orozco.
Maya Jasmine Ramos.
Kaswa Rahman.
Gabriel I. Reuter.
John Alexander Reuter.
Abigail Jamie Reyes.
Carla Aridna Reyes.
Marie Marcia Reyes.
Martin Alberto Reyes Jaramillo.
Jasmine Yuriko Reinaga Teofilo.
Gavin Joseph Richlick.
Alyssa Rain Rincon.
Jaden Akemi Riadil.
Fernando Rivera Castillo.
Maria Isabel Rivero Villalta.
Levi Christopher Roberts.
Marianne Rodriguez.
Leslie Mariam Rodriguez Caloca.
Diana Giselle Rodriguez Onel.
Kevin Daniel Rojas Brito.
Maximiliano Bojidar Roscope.
Sarah Madison Rowe.
Lillian Alice Callahan Roy.
Travin Gage Rubio.
Eduardo Ruiz Hernandez.
Dalia Anira Ruiz Orozco.
Ali Lorraine Russell.
Kiara Sherlyn Salas Moreno.
Ashley Renee Solstrom.
Luis Angel Sanchez Cruz.
Alex Moth Sanchez.
Esvin Estuardo Sanchez Mendez.
Melanie Nicole Sanchez Ramirez.
Elsa Celeste Santana Figueroa.
Gino Seth Skeisha.
Grace Elizabeth Schroeder.
Nolan Paul Scott.
Zachary Paul Scott.
Andy Adair Serrano Olvera.
Noella Rose Shaver.
Callie Diana Shearer.
Gemalut Vito Sheck.
Claire Elizabeth Shelby.
Jonathan David Shower.
Liam Giovanni Smart.
Abigail Emma Smith.
Alaana Marie Smith.
Cooper Thomas Smith.
Maya Janelle Smith.
Kellen Robert Snyder.
Roman Ray Snyder.
Ferzulis Solario Magana.
Josue Reyes Soltero.
Jillian Rose Sunny.
Delisha Sotelo Navarrete.
Lucas Christina Southard.
Karen Capricia Spadafora.
Evan James Standring.
Cameron Michael Steins.
Cara Noel Strosser.
Matthew Lance Studer.
Leo Michael Sullivan Garcia.
Connor Dale Edward Surratt.
Harper Kaylee Sinafea Sutherland.
Kevin Charles Swindler.
Makar Isa C.
Laura Kathleen Taylor.
Dominic Drake Taylor Campbell.
Pamela Teles Lopez.
Owen Connor Terrell.
Min Win Tai.
Alyssa Jean Thorin.
Jocelyn Lizeth Tovar Lopez.
Ashley Betsaida Tercios Arevalo.
Lyndon Miguel Diogo Valdez.
Valena Valev.
Jonathan Armando Vasquez.
Mia Venegas Juarez.
Jasmine Ventura Romero.
Braden Joseph Victor.
Eldon Villarreal.
Donovan Jael Villatoro.
Sabrina Jane Walwork.
Ashley Michelle Walwork.
Hadley Isabel Washburn.
Kaylin Mary Watson.
Hannah Caitlin Watt.
Gracie Webb.
Noah William Wessel.
Jaden Yangfuda Whitaker.
Jordan Alyssa White.
Kai Grace Wilder.
Noah Adam Wilhelm.
Traven James Wilkerson.
Alexander Volk Wilkeson.
Sawyer James Wolf.
Emily Rowan Womack.
Christian Lucas Woodhouse.
Ada Elizabeth Gale Yake.
Corinne Elise Yancey.
Cody J. Zom.
Ibrahim Zaidan.
Haley Elizabeth Zinsley.
Maya Rochelle Zolkowski.
Elizabeth Laura.
Elena Golniakin.
Avery Jade Zwick.
Kayla Cum, Associated Student Body President, and London Gamble, Senior Class President. Please rise and proceed to the microphone stands behind the graduates. Each row will rise as you pass.
Congrats to the class of 2023. We did it. Woo! You may now turn your tassel from the right to the left. Congrats! Woo! Congrats, Tigers.